If your hips always feel tight, even though you're stretching them all the time, then maybe the problem is not hip tightness. Today, I'm going to give you a 15 seconds test to find out what the problem is and one exercise to fix it. Salut! C'est Stéphane from Safe Motions and welcome back to my channel. It's good to have you back. If you've got tightness or soreness in the front of the hip, or you even feel like your leg is collapsing under your body weight after a long run, today I'm going to show you a 15 seconds test to find out whether you should keep on stretching that hip flexor or if you should strengthen it. And of course, at the end, I'll show you the #1 exercise that I think you should do in order to strengthen the front of your hip. The hip flexors are made of several muscles, and they're there to lift the leg up. Those hip flexors can really take a beating if you work them out too hard, too soon, too fast. So as your hip flexors get tired and overworked, they'll shut down for maintenance and recovery, and they'll start weakening. This is when they start to feel tight, and then you stretch them. But the problem with stretching a muscle is that it makes it relax. And as it relaxes, it might become even weaker. This is when the compensation process starts. Some secondary muscles will try to take over to make you do the movement. This is a bit like you asking your plumber to help you paint your walls. Sure, he might be able to do it, but he definitely won't like it. When that compensation starts to happen, usually the TFL takes over and it stiffens up. This can lead to anterior pelvic tilt, hyperlordosis, hyperextension, runners. Hey, the point is, weak hip flexors are bad. So let's test them before we stretch them. Are your hip flexors weak or are they stiff? And if they're weak, let's give them some exercise to fix it. Now, what I want you to do is super simple. You're going to kneel down on the floor. You're going to lift the front foot off the floor and try and hold it for 15 seconds. If you feel tightness in front of the hip, if you feel like you can't hold it, or if you feel like there's tightness building up on the sides of your hips, then your hip flexors are probably weak. Now, there's plenty of exercises to strengthen the hip flexors. But we'll start with that one. You're going to be in that kneeling position, you're going to lift the foot off the floor, and you're going to open the leg towards the outside as far as you can, and without touching the floor, bring it back to the front and put it down. You're going to do that for as many repetitions as needed in order to feel a burn in those hip flexors until you need to step up to harder exercises. Now, if you find that the hip flexors are indeed stiff, tight, and shortened, then absolutely continue to stretch them. But in my opinion, if you're increasing the volume of running, then you need to prepare your muscles for it. So you do need to strengthen your hip flexors. For me, this exercise is always good to integrate in a strengthening routine for running anyways. This will help you avoid compensations of the TFL. I have a video about the TFL and what it can do to your knees. I'll put it somewhere around here or there. So your next step is to subscribe, check out this video. I'm gonna go for breakfast and I'll see you soon. À bientôt!